Disconnection is a process that unfolds over time. For many youth, it is driven by poverty, trauma exposure, and a lack of positive adult supports.
Rats, roaches, mice, all the things that make a living situation unbearable.
The lights was off in the house for like 3 years straight. Always having to wear the same clothes to school all the time when everybody else was getting fresh or getting fly.
I remember there were days where I didn't feel comfortable going home because the people in my house were abusing drugs, or there was always some type of situation where I couldn't focus.
The phrase crabs in a bucket, and it's like no one wants to see another person succeed where I'm from.
I just felt unwanted, like I was not welcome at all in the house I was in, the school I was in, the city. I felt like I was just unwelcome totally, just all around.
When I was in middle school, I actually lost my father at the age of 13. Not being able to find a way to see who to talk to. It felt at times where I was just like, maybe I shouldn't keep trying, maybe I should just quit.
I saw people get raped. I saw dead bodies. Any and everything imaginable that a kid should just not be able to see. I saw that at a young age, and I don't even know how I processed it.
There are currently 4.9 million, or 1 in 8, young people in the United States who are disconnected from both school and the workforce.
When we talk about disconnected youth, you associate with youth who aren't taking pathways that are typical for youth in modern society. You're taking some alternative method that's not related to your development, but it's related to your survival and your needs day to day. You had to do what you had to do to get by. And it was a hopeless feeling. It felt horrible. Like, you always felt like it was you against the world.
Feeling disconnected for me was just that feeling of numb. Just being numb to the pain, trying to block everything out, just existing. I wasn't living at all. I was just there.
Feeling like it wouldn't change, or feeling like this is it, like this is life. I just feeling like I had to accept what I didn't have to accept. It made me do things that was out of my character. And I don't have to elaborate on that because let your mind wander. It's just when you are disconnected, there's no telling what you'll do, no telling what can happen.
Research shows that being disconnected as a young person has serious long-term consequences. Disconnected youth are more likely to live in long-term poverty, more at risk for criminal behavior, and more likely to be depressed and suicidal. There are stark racial disparities in risk for imprisonment, with nearly a 70% chance that a black young man without a high school diploma will be imprisoned by his mid-30s.
The difference between disconnected youth and connected youth, their focus isn't on survival. They don't have to worry about when their next meal is coming or where they're going to sleep at night. Their focus is on how to make themselves better through education and through personal experience and growth and work.
Well, my father was incarcerated, so my mother was by her own trying to take care of 3 kids, you know what I'm saying? In my community, the normal thing, or was learned to be normal from you seeing it all the time, is people selling drugs, and they get, you know, they got the clothes, they got the cars.
The first time I got arrested, and I was still young. Well, I was about 16, 17 years old. I didn't know what to think. When I was actually in the jail, I'm thinking it's the end of the world. I'm never coming home again. I'm never seeing my family. I just felt like all I had was me.
Poverty is linked to the risk of disconnection for young people of all races. In high-poverty neighborhoods, 1 in 5 young people are disconnected. In low-poverty neighborhoods, only about 1 in 14 are disconnected. Every year, almost 2 million young people experience at least one night of homelessness. Young people who have experienced homelessness are 87% more likely than their peers to stop going to school.
I really didn't even see or understand the value of education at that particular time. I wasn't thinking about college. I wasn't thinking about high school. I was just thinking about how are we going to get a better living situation? How am I going to be able to help my mom? How am I going to be able to help my family?
The stuff that I was focusing on at first, school and all that stuff, it really didn't matter no more. Not because I didn't know the work, but because I didn't want to do it. It was like, to me, it was in the way. Like, I ain't making no money going to school.
I think I was 4. We experienced our first fire. We had to go place to place. We were homeless for a little bit. Throughout the course of my life, I have survived 3 different fires. I think I ended up failing the first grade because I just was not regularly participating in school, and when I was there, I didn't understand the purpose of it. But coming from a situation where I was surviving, as long as I'm eating, it doesn't really matter.
If given the right tools to reconnect, youth who are disconnected have the capacity to thrive. Society saves over $700,000 across the lifetime of every 20-year-old who is permanently reconnected to school or employment. Opportunity Youth represents enormous potential.
I'm at a point where it's like, I really don't know what I want to do long run, but I do know that that lifestyle is something that I'm not trying to go back to. So my probation officer, she had recommended that I do the Strive, because I just kept telling her I was trying to find a job, couldn't find a job. Like, you should do the Strive Future Leader program. The mentors and stuff there, they opening up to me, you know what I'm saying, talking to me. I just seen that, like, it's people that really came from that walk of life or been through that same struggle that I've been through and was able to do it.
My cousin he forced me to go to Strive, to go to Center for Urban Families. And since the day I stepped foot in that building, I felt more reconnected than I ever did.
My feeling of connection really is purposeful. Knowing that every single day that I wake up, every single day that I get out of my bed, I'm making a difference in the life of another person. This is the most connected I've ever felt in my life because I'm able to touch young lives. I'm able to touch adult lives in ways that I possibly could have never done.
The biggest thing that got me through those situations was taking a step back and trying to see the big picture on things. That was the first step towards making a bigger difference for me because it allowed me to see things from different perspectives. So it became thriving in how to keep pushing myself to do bigger and better things.
Talking to people that you just met for a couple months and telling them how you feel and what your emotions were, it's a little difficult, but it felt good to finally say, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going through my head, and I need help.
I made up in my mind that I was tired of feeling disconnected, feeling behind. My plan is to stay focused and pray and to just be a doer, do things, do whatever comes in, whatever. If it's positive and it comes my way, I'm going to do it.
Investing in these young people have the potential to transform entire communities. The time is now.